Spend some uninterrupted time thinking about who and what are important to you. Focus on those this week. And that is some weekly wisdom that we are using today to get started on this episode of the All Around Growth Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. This is episode number 166 of the show, I think. Anyways, whatever episode it is, this show is intended to provide insight and tools as we build the lives and homesteads of our dreams. My name is Rob Kaiser and I am your host. It is Sunday, August 8th, 2021. And today, that little quote comes to you from the Best Self Journal. It is the weekly wisdom of the day. And when I sat down to journal this morning, as I have not journaled since Wednesday even, yikes, where has the time gone? I realized that I was going to take advantage of an impromptu session and just share with you some thoughts that are on my mind. We've talked about a lot recently, and what's worth noting is yesterday's episode was titled SARS-CoV-2, and I talked about a letter from, an email rather, that I received from the church council and my response to it. And in all honesty, that is in part why I chose to speak and record this morning as well, because this act of speaking and doing so in this podcast form and sharing it with you and subsequently talking about it in the Telegram group helps me process a lot of what it is that I am doing in this life. And I'd like to think that when you do the same, it helps you as well. So we are helping each other, and that is part of what is important to me. And like we read, we're going to spend some time, uninterrupted time, thinking about who and what are important to me. I'm going to spend some uninterrupted time after church with some coffee, maybe sitting on the square doing my weekly review. I historically I've done them on Sundays after church, but I've also tried to develop some new habits of doing these on a Saturday morning and getting ready for the day, letting the dew dry up off the grass, things of that nature. But I did not do that yesterday. I took advantage of the long weekend that I'd scheduled. I took Friday off. I'm going to take tomorrow off. I'm going to take this Friday off. And I'll be taking next Monday off. And so on and so forth for the third week in August as well. But like I said, or like I began saying, yesterday's episode was on SARS-CoV-2 and my response to the church. The day prior, we spoke about me taking active steps to shutting my business down. And Friday afternoon, I had a conversation with my accountant, and I am prepared to dive into episode number 2 of that little mini series, shutting it down, because it didn't really go as I expected it to go. Previously, we had heard an episode entitled Don't Stop Praying, an episode called Decline. spoke about how life is like a bamboo tree. I've been all over the map recently with the content that I'm putting out there in terms of this podcast. When I originally started, I made a substantial part of my morning the review and the creation of these show notes. And as I have made some changes to my life and to my morning routine, some of which have involved spending more time on the preparation and eating of healthy food, as well as working out in the mornings, I've spent less time on the creation and development of content notes for this show, which I don't really listen to many podcasts that operate in this way. Some began this way and evolved into something else. And ultimately, that's what is going to happen with this one too. It's going to evolve into something else. And change is the only constant in life. And who knows, there may come a time when my Sunday mornings do not include going to a church service like this. I don't know. That time has already come. As a matter of fact, with how societally we've chosen to respond to what I spoke about yesterday, SARS-CoV-2, with shutdowns and lockdowns and separating people. It's sad, but I can only influence and control what I can influence and control. And we'll just have to see how everything shakes out at church. Real quick on that note, I oftentimes, more often than not, actually almost exclusively attended the 8:15 service, which was held in the chapel. And the chapel was a smaller room, and the last time that we had held a service in that space was February or maybe early March of 2020, pre-pandemic. And now this is the first time that I've been to a church service in 3 weeks. I felt a little thrown off from recent seizures and decided to just hunker down on these Sunday mornings and spend some time relaxing. But I've done that the past 2 days, and I am ready to get back to it and engage in the old routine. And as far as I can tell, the reopening team at church has decided to allow church participants who attend the 8:15 service to go back into the chapel. And I believe we've done that for the past 2 weeks, the 2 weeks that I have opted to not attend service. That's very nice, because if things continue as they are, I expect people to be more comfortable with masks and distancing, and we will not be in that small space. Because what we had been doing for the 8:15 service was sitting in the larger space, the sanctuary, and they had cordoned off alternating rows to allow people to maintain the appropriate distance that was that we were understood was safe. So anyways, whether you are going to church or not on this Sunday morning, I hope that this finds you well. Whether you're listening to this on a Sunday or sometime later in the future, I hope that you have a good day today and a great week ahead, despite what part of the week you find yourself listening to this in at the current moment. I'd like you to wish me luck, actually. This is a newer community for me that I've been a part of about 3 years now. And this is the first time that I've been vocal about something as politically divisive as this. And what's unfortunate is what is so politically divisive is also widely misunderstood. And because it's been politicized, it makes it very difficult to talk about with one another. So we'll see how or if there's any response. Chances are I spent some time overthinking this, and I've got half a mind to pause the recording as I pull up and check back in with you later. But I've never done that before. I'm not going to get into that today. I will utilize that as a talking point in the future, and hopefully revisit this and give you an update on the whole COVID bit as we proceed in the future. So with that said, I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I look forward to checking in with you in the future, whether it's tomorrow with an unusual episode since I will not be heading to work, or whether it's Tuesday with a traditional episode on the commute to the day job. I haven't really made up my mind as far as what I'm going to do. So we'll see how I'm feeling in the morning. But in the name of consistency, even though it is a day off, I will still most likely get up and record in some way, shape, or form. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.